Today is May 6th, 2025, and which is a particular day because the GTA 6 trailer dropped. Now then, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts firsthand? Firsthand, I meant to say
You
you
know,
first.
okay, honestly, I expected it was legit, like, actually gonna be, it was gonna have, like, the features that we've seen in the previous titles, but no, my guesses were legit wrong. It looks
Wait, what do you
more than
mean?
that.
I mean,
Like, for example, w- with the way how the trailer looks, it feels like the city is a lot more interactive. The NPCs are a lot more the NPCs have variety. You know?
yeah, but so did the original games. It's like,
No,
no, because like I
but
don't
it,
see
it
what
looks
they've
like this
taken out. It looks like kind of like what we got from like the past game, just more realistic now.
grounded.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, that's my exact thoughts. Where it's like it looks more realistic, despite
hmm
how goofy the series kind of is at times. It just, yeah. There's the whole thing with like the like you play as a character that does constant crimes, I guess, and he just gets away with it. But overall, when it comes to like any other thing, it just seems like wow, this is very interactive than it has ever been so much before.
Yeah, that's that's the word I
But
was
then
trying to
there's
say.
this thing where it's
Interactive.
like, are we seeing gameplay or are we seeing cutscenes? I mean,
It looks
I'm
like
positive they're all cutscenes. That's just what I'm saying
it.
there.
Yeah, I'm about to say it does look like it's all cutscenes.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, you don't see the gameplay yet at all, actually, and it's just it reminds me how
hmm
Left 4 Dead. No, fuck. Red Dead Redemption 2, where you see all the cutscenes and look cool, but then when you switch to the gameplay, it's like, then you can tell it's like actual gameplay, and it's still that game's still pretty
Yeah,
interactive and still good as looking and shit, especially when it looks so much with the cutscenes. Like you can't tell the difference between the cutscenes and the gameplay in Red Dead Redemption 2. So it's like it's gonna be the same thing with GTA 6.
yep.
I just wonder what the HUD really looks like. And also, I guess the prototype leaks that happened like several years ago are true because now we know what like if you remember the prototype leaks had like the early player model of the guy character and then when we see him in the trailer
hmm
it's like oh it makes sense why he looks like that. Like
Yeah.
in the prototype trailer he looks like that. But in the trailer it's like he looks exactly like that. It's like oh yeah, that makes so much sense now. That makes so
Yeah,
much sense.
I could yeah. It's funny because I could tell that they're putting in a lot of like effort into the game because like there is one scene I saw where the main character legit looks slim, and then the next scene he just looks buff.
Yeah, because there's like a time skip within like some of these scenes.
hmm
Especially with the way
So
he dresses is different too. Whatever, like it changes to like one scene to the next. But other than that, like this is cool as shit. It's like yeah. It's like
yeah, I'm very excited for this because like
though I'm not sure
I,
if I'm really
I
that interested in the story because it just looks kind of like simplistic. It's like well, it's really
it's a
just a
Bonnie
couple
and
story.
Clyde love story. I get it.
Yeah, it's like because we talked about how we felt about with Max Payne 2, for example, because that shit was forced.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like it seems like in the in GTA 6, it seems like those two actually have like that been together for like for a while. So I feel like the game's gonna develop these characters that you'll probably like them in the end.
Yeah,
But
because I'm
that's just
hoping
me.
I
That's just
can give a
wishful
shit
thinking.
about them, just like well, I mean, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, let's go with GTA 5's characters where you got Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, and where it's like, I mean, I do
hmm
give a shit about them, but I remember at the time when it came out, when I'm playing the game through its story, it's like, I kind of didn't really give a shit about Trevor most of the time. And with Michael, it's
Yeah,
more
me
like
neither.
not really either, because Michael wasn't that relatable at all.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
he's
mean,
kind of a piece of shit. But other than that, it's like, you know, that's the thing. It's like when it comes to like the story, it's really how it works. And like with those three characters, you get to like switch around them within different parts of the story later on when you get to meet them. But I have like,
mhm.
but even then, it's like I still hope it actually balances a lot better than what it did in 5. So, you know, because now it's only two
Yeah,
characters to worry about, and those two characters
yeah,
completely have history and also like interactions, obviously. So this is gonna be pretty nice.
mhm,
It's gonna be pretty consistent. You know, like nothing to worry about. No like fucking
mm,
changes or some weird like forced plot lines or I don't know, Death Wish missions. It's just gonna be something simple, but then it's like it's still pretty vague for what the story is gonna be about. Which is kind of nice
yeah,
because I mean I guess they're not gonna tell us everything, which is good because we'll figure it out
yeah.
once it's release date.
Figure it out.
So like that's the thing. Like at
Mm,
first the trailer, it's like you know you just have these two characters now, and they're gonna do some stuff, and you're gonna play through all those stuff. The question being is that if there's gonna be something that's gonna happen later on the story, like some sort of antagonist or some sort of like kind of end game that just completely changes what they've
mhm.
been doing the whole time. But like we don't see that yet, or at least who knows? We might not even be able to see it, but I doubt it because there's always gonna be like an end game within most of these GTA games, which they've always had before,
Yeah,
except for like actually, no, even the top-down fucking GTA 1 and 2 had, like, endgame stories, so whatever. Other than that, it's like, ever since GTA 3, it's like, you know, there's always, like, a whole heavy plot around the end or whatever. At least something that leads
mhm.
up to the end. So I'm just curious,
Yeah,
like, what kind of spectacle it's gonna be. I guess with like the past games, they were a bit more like pretty exaggerated and completely crazy. Like, you know, with 3, it's
mhm.
having to get revenge on this certain bitch. And then on like fucking 4, it's just having to, well, deal with some past Russian connections. And depending on your choices, it can go pretty south real bad. And then you have to deal with the whole fucking set of mobsters, depending on which one you really have most the beef with the most. And then there's
Yeah,
Vice City
and
is
then
pretty much
5.
similar to just Scarface in a way. So you know, you have your empire and then you have like the shit at the end, and then one of your friends betray you or whatever because he's a piss asshole, and then you get all that shit. And then San Andreas is kind of like for me, it's my most I consider it the most interesting story wise,
Yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
has to do with just how much it already tells you the story right at the start, where you know you come back to like a
mhm.
fucked up transition of like how your gang has been after you left them behind many years ago, and then you're just like having to pick up the pieces and catching up, only to find yourself being stuck in a conspiracy within one of the traitors of the gang, and then you just end up doing their dirty work until it's revealed on what really is going on and shit. Like I like that a lot, especially like
Yeah,
when you find out who is actually betraying the whole gang of itself. I'm trying to remember what they're called. Grove Street Gang, right? There you go.
yeah,
I
grocery
can remember everything. And then you get the fucking police officer and shit, which, damn, it's like it's crazy because like you had to deal with like more than one antagonist in San Andreas, and I just like how it's executed and how you can still talk about it to this day with like Big Smoke, for example, like how you can like still talk about exactly when did he start betraying Grove Street, or when Tenpenny
Mhm.
got really involved in like the story and like what point, at least what certain point in the story or whatever, or like what other characters would do and what would really, how would they have behaved in the background, like I guess fucking Ryder or something, like if you're trying to tell like when
Ryder.
exactly did he
Yeah.
betray the gang or whatever, and you know it's like good as layers there. That's why I like really like San Andreas for story wise. I mean I do like GTA 4 a lot
Mhm.
because it's more emotional and it's more tragic, and it's just one of the first ones I played besides Vice City, but like you
Yeah,
know it's like I think like growing up I just kind of just appreciate San Andreas more.
yeah. San Andreas is like, I like San Andreas, but it's funny because you know my first Grand Theft Auto actually was San Andreas, and I felt like we weren't actually gonna get another Grand Theft Auto game like San Andreas until like over
Why?
time I started to yeah, until like 5. I was all like, in a way, I'm kind of glad that like 5 is kind of like its own. How do I say it? Its own.
Thing?
Yeah, because like they don't always have to like not every game has to copy paste like San Andreas.
Yeah, not everything has to be very serious or just very like tragic. Yeah, because it's like
Hmm.
with five, it's really just a spectacle. It's like a lot of shit happens and you participate in it, like it's Mission Impossible. Which is
Yeah.
why like when I look at GTA 6 trailer, it's like holy shit, this is so real. This feels so real because there's like yeah, sure, there's a bit of the spectacle there, and especially the fucking life of Florida, but it's like compared to how like it was in five, it's like it feels a little bit more like how it felt in San Andreas, just without like the era
Yep.
of the '90s.
Hmm.
Well, actually, it's more like the era present day, if anything. I guess that's what makes. Yeah, I guess that's how effective GTA 6 is. It feels very modern.
Yep. I felt like if GTA 6 does like exceed expectations, there probably won't be another like game like this for like years
Yeah, no
because they put a
kidding.
lot of effort into.
I guess it's funny because they could probably still make this fucking series for centuries if you think about it. I mean, it depends on how far
Yep.
gaming will go. Actually, that's one of the funny things that I don't think I've ever talked to anybody about like the future of gaming. But like, no, when you mention future of gaming to anybody, they always think about like, oh, what business practices will people change over time? But when I mean future gaming, I mean like, will games still be relevant past 100 years?
Mm.
And it's even funnier because it's like I doubt they'll ever die out because it's one of the biggest media things that's ever existed besides the internet. But also like
Hmm.
how far gaming has gone within like advancing a lot of its potential and genres and interests. Like like 1970 shits or whatever. Like sure it was a long time ago, but it's not like 100 years ago, and yet we're like this far where it's like we went from fucking Xevious to fucking GTA 6. Why did I mention Xevious specifically? Because that's one of the oldest shoot 'em ups that really broke the mold at the time, which is kind of funny because then you look at arcade games at the time and like they really did look really simple, but they were innovating for like certain games that come out right after. And then then we're in present day where it's like you have GTA 6, and then you have whatever the fuck the other games are. I don't know, Borderlands 4 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, Borderlands 4 is coming out this month.
And yeah, that's about it. I mean, yeah, I guess nowadays a lot of people like to be negative and cynical about like AAA gaming or modern gaming or quote unquote that. It's like, yeah, I can see them pretty lacking because most of them follow some bad business practices and tend to listen to the wrong audience of gamers. But that's the worst part about gamers is that it's not a good audience because everybody always wants different fucking shits and nobody's fucking
Mm.
satisfied. I think the worst audience had to be during like the mid 2000s because it was mostly people bitching about like, oh man, I want super high graphic games and all that with more run times and shit. But it's like it's just not everybody really agrees with that time. But I feel like that's what most developers and reviewers have listened to that kind of vocal voice, especially when it's mostly just around like the conventions where people get to be heard the most, which aren't around
Hmm.
anymore because people use directs and shit. Shit's so fucking streamlined that any fucking fan club can start their own quote unquote direct on a specific franchise or thing like ROM hacking. Like it's no joke. Like just a couple weeks ago, motherfuckers already started a Kirby direct. It's like a fucking Kirby Direct? What is it for? And it's for fucking Kirby fan games and ROM hacks. It's like, that's just how much it branches, dude. When it comes to just fan stuff and then real, actual, official stuff, and it's like, Yeah, that's why gaming's not going anywhere when it comes to like 100 years later. Just what makes it really hard to predict is how it's gonna look like 100 years later. Because if you have games like GTA 6, it's just gonna look fucking ancient by like the time it's like 50 years later. You ever find that fucking hilarious? It's like it's gonna look ancient in 50 years. Or maybe less than that, depending on how fast gaming evolves. Because this shit hasn't been slowing down since the 70s, or at least the 80s actually. I think the 90s and 80s were the peak of gaming, because like they really just kept on changing. Like we went from arcade cabinets to home consoles that can like run arcade powered games to like DVD home consoles that work on your TV.
Yeah. Jeez.
Except I can't really say much of. Oh yeah, and then you got PCs, which were pretty much out there for a long time, but then they got so better to the point where you can probably just fucking emulate a Switch game now on your PC and then have it run mods and shit. And like I guess in a couple years later, it's just gonna run a really shitty fucking laptop, so nobody has to worry about fucking performance issues. But other than that, it's like, you know, it's like it just keeps on growing. It's all that. Like, I could care less about how the current state of Xbox consoles are, or PlayStation consoles, or the Nintendo Switch, too. It's just gonna keep on growing somewhat, somehow, because people are supporting this shit. It's what they love, it's what they hate, it's what they enjoy. Even if the 4-cut boards disagree. Why do I have to nitpick that specifically? I just kind of find it funny, because that's where you find most active threads about this kind of shit. But whatever. So yeah, GTA 6, well, I'm gonna have no fucking prediction whatsoever of what's it really gonna be about. That's the better way, because I feel like people tend to have too many high expectations, especially with whatever happened with Cyberpunk years ago. But I doubt it's gonna be like that anyway, because it's fucking Rockstar.
Yep. And No Man's Sky, but you know, the thing is that those managed to capture the audience years later, and it's like, but this game, Grand Theft Auto 6, it legit captured the audience, like, you know, attention, like in a snap.
And now they just gotta wait another year, which I still don't find a problem. I kind of find it annoying when there's people bitching about the delay, which is like, okay, we get it, you want your game early and shit, but it's like, I don't want I don't want it to release early if there's still more to add, right? Like, what's wrong with adding more content or polishing shit? Because it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like 70% done from the way it looks. They're just adding a bunch of other stuff, especially when you have to remember that it's gonna have online multiplayer. Do I have a source for this? No, but like, I'm 100% fucking sure it's gonna have multiplayer, because why would it not? Red Dead Redemption 2 had multiplayer, so what's gonna be weird about GTA 6 not having? It's gonna have it, and it's gonna be similar to GTA 5, which, as we know, like, that shit is very fucking profitable, so it'd be weird for Rockstar to just ignore that compatibility. Now, how will GTA 5 online servers will be like once GTA 6 online servers are live? I'm not sure. I mean, people will still probably play GTA 6, because not everybody can afford a PS5 with GTA 6 on it, because I'm assuming that's a PS5 exclusive, right?
Yeah, it is. The whole game was captured on PS5.
Yeah, which you gotta count yourself lucky for owning, so there you go. And now it's just only a matter of time on like what kind of stuff we'll have to like expect to be surprising, and especially the online, because actually I'm pretty curious about the goddamn online, because I wonder, it's like, if they're gonna use it as like a template to add more shit once the game's fully released, and then it's like, you got the online stuff where just add some random stuff in it. Or
I do wish they also put single player DLC, but I know that's just wishful thinking.
I mean, that's why I mentioned the online content, because, you know, doesn't the online content did affect like the vanilla experience for GTA 5?
It did.
So it's like it's gonna be the same with GTA 6. Probably much more I don't know, like, because I know, like, in GTA 5, like, yeah, it did have like a lot of updates with online, but most of the online stuff wouldn't really be played on single player all the time. Like, for example, ragdolling, right? Oh wait, no, never mind. You
Yeah.
can still ragdoll in the vanilla game,
No.
right? I forgot. Because that was like that was something you couldn't do before the new gen update, right?
Yeah. No, you could do it. You do it in the old game, but you could also do it in the new gen. Wasn't really.
I see.
Wasn't really. Yeah.
Then I guess there's not going to be anything worries about like differences with the single player mode and the online mode because they're probably going to be the same base. So it's like, and unless I mean, well, except for the fact that you probably might have to have a customizable character, which that's a whole can of worms since you know it's probably going to be more customization. Or they could just do the easy way out, which is giving you a template character that you're stuck with, which I wouldn't mind.
Yep. I wouldn't mind either.
As long as the content's awesome and it doesn't repeat some of the failures of Red Dead Redemption 2, but I guess they kind of already are fully aware about that shit, so it's not like they're gonna do it twice. And I think that wouldn't even like make sense anyway, because I think the problem with Red Dead Redemption 2 Online was just like the things you could do, right? Tell me about your experience with that shit.
Okay, the reason why Red Dead failed is because there wasn't enough content. Rockstar didn't practically put enough content in the game. Like, they didn't put bank robberies. Like, sure, they put in, like, you know, you could brew your own moonshine, collect animal pelts, become a treasure hunter, be a bounty hunter. Like, that's cool and all. But, you know, people wanted more from the game. Because for me, even though I enjoyed it, I still the lack of content really made the game suffer.
Even when they added the jobs.
Yep.
That's such a missed opportunity too, because like you know the job system's really cool.
Exactly. Yep. It really sucks because and the thing is that what's funny is that I would not have mind if Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't had an online mode, because I felt like the whole game was practically already like the whole game was kind of like, you know, one big game really. I don't know how to say it, but like it's odd. I don't know how to say it, but it's like the game itself felt like it was like one huge package. You could practically do whatever you want. I mean, would I wanted more out of the game?
Oh,
sure.
You mean sandbox? Like you really are just in sandbox world?
Yeah. That's it. That's the word.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, in single player it's more interactive, but like it's cool online though that they still let you have that exact freedom, but you have like overworked missions and all that, and you don't have the story mode restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing, at least they tried. Like, sure.
It's also like the first time they would have to do that in a Wild Western setting. Actually, I think this is the first ever Wild West game where the online is just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kind of surprised. There's just not a lot of like cowboy games.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of cowboy games. I kind of did wish that game had more content, but it sucks because, of course, Grand Theft Auto had more players than Red Dead Online.
Don't worry, Mr. Nut. You could compromise by playing as a dressed-up cowboy in GTA 6 Online.
Don't worry, little Red Dead fan. GTA 6 content will feed you for your entire life.
No, it'd be hilarious that like if GTA 6 Online gives you the ability to like customize like stuff like in Gma, like you know you add blocks and shit, and like somebody like out of their fucked up like desire of trying to recreate Red Dead Redemption 2 in a GTA 6 engine would be like they just try to like replicate the fucking saloons and like fucking little houses.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, but but it doesn't even matter when they put the buildings there because the background is some suburban street, and you just see them in a shitty cowboy getup.
It's like a movie set. It's like a movie.
Yeah, it's like a movie set, but he's a LARPer.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I don't know if to be that advanced, but hey, it can subvert our expectations anytime soon anyway. Fallout 4 had some building shit, funnily enough. I'm not sure if
All I know
76
is
had it
that I
because I
can't
never
wait.
played 76.
All I know is that I can't wait for the game.
Oh yeah. And now let's just end it here because we've been talking for 45 minutes. Isn't that crazy? Oh jeez.
Ain't that crazy?